Hi everyone, Heather here with astrologywithheather.com, and I am back with another super exciting weekly forecast. And this one is for Monday, December 16th, all the way through to Sunday, December 22nd of 2019. And this week is a little bit more low-key than last week. This will probably be a shorter video, which will make up for the excessively lengthy one I did last time around, just because there was so much going on. And so this will be like a breath of fresh air. It's going to be a little bit of a relief. The main events this week are that, first off, Venus is moving into the sign of Aquarius, which is sort of an awkward placement for Venus, to be honest, because Aquarius is a sign that is friendly and very personable, but it's kind of detached, especially from their emotions. Aquarius is the water bearer, right? So a lot of people, when they first get into astrology, they get kind of confused and think that Aquarius is a water sign because the beginning of it is aqua, right? But Aquarius is the water bearer for a reason, and it's an air sign for a reason. It's a more intellectualized sign where people can kind of step outside of their emotions and view what they're experiencing on a more emotional level, more objectively. And so it's kind of like they're holding their emotions at a distance in this container, right? And so that's the symbology of the water bearer with the sign of Aquarius. And so when we have Venus in the sign of Aquarius, it's excellent for making new friendships. It's excellent for, connecting with groups of people and having more platonic relationships develop during this time. But when it comes to our close personal relationships, there's that energy of being a little bit more detached emotionally from what's going on within those connections, within those romantic partnerships in our lives. And that can be a little bit more difficult. Venus in the sign of Aquarius needs a lot of independence within partnership. And so that's something that people are going to be asserting more so during this time. So people are going to be wanting to assert their independence, wanting to have more unusual forms of relationship, or wanting to do new and exciting things within partnership, which is probably the best expression of this energy. So, over the next few weeks, this is a great time to connect with your partner and to do something that you've never done together before. Especially if it's something super weird or that's viewed as being like outside of the norm or eccentric or unusual or in some way, where it's sort of pushing people's buttons. If you do things like that together, you're going to have the more positive energy of Venus in the sign of Aquarius, which shakes things up. It makes things super exciting. And so that's one of the best ways that you can use this energy, because if your relationships have become dull or sort of mundane or, restrictive or limiting in some way, now's the time where you can break free by doing these new and exciting things together. So that's one way that you can use this energy really proactively and productively. At the end of this week, there's going to be a couple different things going on. We're having the winter solstice, of course, so the sun is moving into the sign of Capricorn, and so this is the astronomical, or at least the solar new year, the solar rebirth. And so this is actually the time when it's best to set your New Year's intentions or your New Year's resolutions. The whole concept of the New Year's resolution comes from the winter solstice and these different celebrations that occur around that time, because it's sort of like the new moon of the solar cycle. It's when the skies or the days are shortest if you're here in the northern hemisphere with me. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you're having the summer solstice, so it's different. But here in the north, it's, the days are at their shortest point. There's less light and the sun is about to go through this rebirth cycle where the days grow longer, the sun is shining brighter. Theoretically, things get warmer, but they typically don't here until February, March. And so this is the time where we have this sort of solar cosmic reset. And this is the time really to harness the energy in order to set really solid intentions for the year ahead. And my theory actually is because of, the Gregorian calendar and shifting this energy to the 1st of January, when really it's typically near the 21st of December, people setting their intentions and their New Year's resolutions on the 1st of January, my theory is they're doing it at the wrong time, and that's why people don't stick to those resolutions. And so for the past couple of years, I've been doing like my intentions and all of that on the solstice instead. And I have like my husband and I drew like a vision board thing. We accomplished all but one thing on that board. And I swear it's because we did it on the solstice. So use those solstice energies to set your intentions for the year ahead, and let me know how that works for you. Let me know, a couple months in, if you are able to stick with those a lot more easily, because this is something that I've been playing with and I feel like it works really well, and you're actually aligning yourself with the cosmic energies as opposed to just an arbitrary date on a calendar that's based on nothing. So that's my spiel about that. But then we come into Sunday, and Sunday is actually going to be a really powerful day for relationships. If you really do need to change something in your relationship, Sunday is going to be the day to do it, because people are going to be rebelling against their current circumstances and wanting to find more excitement, more freedom, more liberation. There could be a disruption to your relationship or to some sort of balance or equilibrium in some area of life that comes about. But when it comes about, it's for a reason, right? Because Uranus is the great awakener and the liberator. And so what Uranus does when it's aspecting any planet is it shakes us out of complacency, and it gets rid of the shackles of anything that's burdening us, that's holding us back from acting more independently out in the world, from being who we are, from rebelling against whatever circumstances or conditioning we're subject to at the time. And so this is going to be a time of, finding greater freedom and liberation. And so that's pretty much what's going on this week. It's not a crazy, hectic week. There could be a little bit of disruption toward the weekend, especially in relationships. And so, we will talk about that in the forecast for all 12 signs. But for the most part, it's sort of like the calm before the storm, because we're entering into eclipse season. The following week, when we get into literally Christmas Day, is when we're having this new moon eclipse, which is luckily a nicer eclipse. And we'll talk about that next week. But before we get into the forecast for all 12 signs, I have a couple of just very quick announcements. First off, you probably notice I have this star map behind me here. And so the reason that this is behind me is because it was a gift that was sent to me from a really wonderful company called Under Lucky Stars. They're not paying me to talk about this or anything. I accepted the gift because I always have wanted one of these, and I'm super excited about it. And I was so happy and so excited about it that I actually reached out to them and asked if we could do a discount for you guys, because I love it, and I feel like you guys would love it too. So if you want your own star map for a special date or some sort of significant event in your life, as a gift for the holidays or as a gift for yourself, you can go to underluckystars.com and you can use the coupon code Beyond Astro, which I'll put down in the description below, and you'll get 20% off your order. And this is actually, speaking of relationships, my dogs are barking again. This is actually the sky map for the inception of the relationship with my husband. And so I've literally always wanted this star map, so I'm super excited. And so if that's something that you're interested in, you can find that link down in the description below. Also, I'm doing some holiday specials, and so I'm excited about this. First off, I'm offering my most popular webinar, which is my Astrology of Place webinar, where I get really deep into relocation astrology and how to find the best place for you to live or vacation or do business. And so I'm offering 50% off with the coupon code down in the description below. I believe it's Holiday Travels 50. And so you can go to my website, you can learn about that webinar and get it for a huge discount. And I feel like this is a good one for kind of like the new year, just because a lot of people are planning like moves and vacations, and they're kind of looking at their travel plans for the year ahead. And I get a lot of emails asking for relocation, usually at the start of the new year. And so you guys can figure out how to find the best places for yourself. And so again, this is down in the link in the description below, 50% off. It's going to last until January 1st, and so you have until then to get your webinar. And if you want to do all the webinars, I've created the Ultimate Astrology Webinar Bundle, where you can get my foundational astrology course, you can get my my Mastering the Outer Planets series, where we're going to go into, or we've gone into some of these already, but Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, with these like 4.5 hour webinars where you're going really in depth. And you'll get the relocation webinar as a part of this. I'm already offering this as at a discounted rate through the springtime. I'll discontinue it after the spring because I'm going to be adding new webinars for you guys, which I'm excited about. But up until that point, this will be available at a heavily discounted rate. It's about 23% off to bundle the webinars. But if you order this weekend, you can get an additional 20% off on top of that. There's a coupon code for that as well down in the description below. And so you have until midnight on like Sunday night, Monday morning, so midnight on the 16th to order the webinar bundle and to have some big savings. And so that's what we're doing here. And that's my announcement. So let's get into the forecast for all 12 signs, beginning, of course, with the sign of Aries. And so for Aries and for Aries rising, so Venus is moving into your 11th house. And so this is good news for friendships. This is really great news for you connecting with groups of people and being more likable within your social circle. So this is a great week to get out there, socialize, go to some sort of holiday event if that's something that feels good to you. And it should go quite smoothly, at least at the beginning of this week. Coming into the weekend, we're having Uranus in square with Taurus in your second house of finances. And so this could trigger some sort of disruption to your financial situation or a disruption in your social circle. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Whatever's going on here is helping to liberate you from your current circumstances. It could be that a social connection helps you to change something with your finances. So you get out there, you socialize this week, you make some connections, you network, and it causes a disruption, but maybe it's a positive thing because you've been wanting to change something when it comes to either the way that you create resources or your financial situation in general. And so this is a time where you can actually engage in that energy a lot more easily, especially through connecting with other people. So if you've been wanting to make a change to your finances, if you've been wanting to make a change to your work and the way that you create resources, branch out. You might get some important insight from somebody that comes out of nowhere. It'll come in a surprising way, probably through your social connections. All right, and then for Taurus and for Taurus rising. So for you guys, Venus is entering into your 10th house of career and public reputation. And so this is a great time. When you have Venus in your 10th house, you can become very popular. And so you should put yourself out there more. You should maybe ask for that promotion, but maybe wait until, after next week or after the holidays. You could maybe get some sort of bonus or some sort of recognition this week that comes unexpectedly, and that's sort of disruptive to your plans. But again, I think that, especially with Venus being involved, Venus is the lesser benefic. It shouldn't be overtly negative or objectively negative. It might feel disruptive, whatever's going on for you, but the end results should be at least moderately positive, if not fully and completely positive. And Uranus usually doesn't bring in the end result really negative circumstances. It usually brings disruption and discomfort in the moment, but after everything is said and done and the dust is settled, you're usually like, wow, I'm glad that those changes happened. It liberated me from this, that, and the other thing that was really burdensome in my life. And so this is going to be one of these moments this weekend, because this is going to be affecting you personally and your relationships and your work and career path. And so you might have this energy, especially involving a work-related connection or a connection to a boss or somebody in a position of power and authority, that will help you to change something about your life and your orientation and the direction that you're headed. This could even bring about a really important new work-related partnership that changes things for you. And you have to kind of think quickly and act on your feet in order to harness this energy or deal with the changes that are coming about for you. But yeah, so this is going to be a week, I think, for Taurus where there's going to be a little bit more change than for some of the other signs, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Even though I know Taurus likes their stability, there could be a little bit of unsettled energy this week, but it's going to help you to change something that you need to change in order to be more fulfilled in your career and also just overall in life, because this is your ascendant. This is affecting you personally. You are changing, and career situations, connections with people in relationship can stimulate that this week. And then for Gemini and for Gemini rising. So for you guys, you're having this Venus moving into Aquarius in the 9th house of foreign travel. And so this could bring up some sort of opportunity for travel plans, or maybe money comes in for travel because it's Venus. Maybe this is going to bring in an unexpected connection with somebody in a foreign country. And that connection could be maybe disruptive to you in some way. And so that is something to kind of take into consideration. However, I don't think it's going to be necessarily negative. It's just that your travel plans might get disrupted due to to a new connection or something that comes in, or due to the influence of somebody on the outside or somebody that you're connected with, especially if it's somebody at a distance or in a foreign country. This could also be a disruption to your educational plans that comes in through a connection or having to renegotiate something. This could throw off your equilibrium when it comes to your educational plans because there is some sort of disruptive energy there. However, it's helping you to break free from something that maybe is not right for you, or is preventing you from moving into the direction that is more appropriate for you and what you want on a more independent level. This is also helping you to think more independently. And so you might have somebody that just comes in and says something, and it causes you to change your belief system or your mindset around something really important to you, like your value systems, your moral and ethical belief systems, your philosophy on life, or your religious beliefs. And so that could come kind of out of nowhere, and it could shake you out of your current mindset and change your perspective on life. All right. And then for Cancer and for Cancer rising. So for you guys, this Venus energy is actually moving into your 8th house. And the 8th house is the house that's associated with debt, taxes, joint finances through marriage, other people's money just kind of in a general sense. Inheritance, money that comes through insurance claims and things like that. Anything that comes through something outside of your own work is typically associated with the 8th house. And so this could be a really important time where something changes for you in that realm. Maybe your partner's income changes. Maybe there's a change that comes through a social connection to your partner's income, because this is going to be squaring Uranus in your 8th or 11th house of friendship. Maybe this is going to bring some sort of opportunity for you to clear away any burdens, any shackles, any stuck stagnant energy around debt or around other people's finances. This is going to help you potentially to become more balanced and more independent and more empowered financially. But it's going to come through networking and connecting with people. And so, this is a good time to reach out to others or to join some sort of class or club or group or organization that can maybe help you further your goals financially. This is also a time where you're going to be it's going to be kind of a discordant energy, because you're going to be craving deeper connection and deeper intimacy with people that you're connected with, especially romantically. But at the same time, you're going to crave a lot of independence and a lot more freedom, especially into this weekend. And so it's like you want that intimacy, but you also want to have your own space and do your own thing. Or to do something really new and exciting. So that could be one way to utilize this too, of course, is to do something new and exciting that brings you together, something that has a deeper purpose or a deeper meaning, or something that you're both deeply passionate about. And that could be one way to navigate this energy if you are in partnership. But for the most part, there could be some changes to your financial situation. There could be something that comes up that's a little triggering for you, involving past trauma or past difficult circumstances in relationships that cause you to maybe question your current relationship even. But this is for a reason. It's helping you to break away from something that maybe you didn't even realize that you needed to break away from. All right. And then for Leo and for Leo rising. So this is actually a nice energy with Venus moving into the sign of Aquarius. This is going to be transiting your 7th house, which is the house of relationships. Although, this weekend there could be a disruption to your relationships, especially work-related partnerships or partnerships that have come through work or business in some sort of way. There is this nice energy of Venus moving into the sign of Aquarius, which lasts for several weeks, where you're going to hopefully be coming back into better balance and better harmony in your relationships. And so you'll have more mutually beneficial connections, more mutually beneficial agreements and negotiations that'll come up. In general, it'll just help you to become more harmonious and balanced within the way that you deal with partnership. And this could even bring in a partnership even this weekend, really unexpectedly. It might come through work or through, something to do with your career, or it could just come out of nowhere, from another area of your life potentially. But, with Uranus in the 10th house, it could be a business partnership that comes out of nowhere. It could be some sort of work-related relationship, or it could be a romantic partnership that comes through work. In either case, it's something that will come in very suddenly. It'll be very unexpected or come about in a way that's unexpected, and it'll change the way that you deal with your work and your agreements and negotiations and contracts related to work. And this could also just be work-related circumstances disrupting your partnership and disrupting the equilibrium and balance in partnership and causing you to need to change something or to create more freedom for yourself in your relationships. But either way, the end result is liberation and also better balance in your relationships. If it's been one-sided or imbalanced in some way when it comes to your romantic partnerships up until this point, this could actually help you to, although it'll be a little disruptive at first, it'll help you to bring things back into harmony so that way your relationships are much more equal. All right, and then for Virgo and for Virgo rising. So for this energy here with Venus in your 6th house of health and daily routines, this is a good time for you to think about bringing your body back into a state of homeostasis. And so making changes to the way that you deal with your physical body, the way that you deal with your health, looking to alternatives with this Aquarius energy being involved in this Uranus square from the 9th house can be very useful right now and really into the next few weeks, because we have this Venus energy transiting your 6th house for a little while here. But it's kind of kicking off with a little bit of a bang because it's going to be in that square with Uranus. And so this is a really great time to create harmony, not just in your body, but in your workplace and in your relationship with coworkers. There might be a source of frustration or disruption that comes through your workplace or through your connections with either your coworkers or people who are employed by you, because those are also showing up in the 6th house. And so this disruption will cause you to realize that you need to change something about the dynamic in your workplace. You need to change something about your work-related partnerships. A disruption to your health might show you that you need to change something about the way that you deal with your body. And that change is going to help you to create balance and equilibrium on all levels moving forward, but especially when it comes to your health, the way that you feel, your daily habits and routines, and your work life experience, and especially your relationships at work, because that's going to be really important too. Oh, this is also, by the way, just as a side note, if you have the ability to like redecorate your office or your workspace, this would be a good time to do that too, to make some sort of aesthetic changes that are like big or hugely disruptive. That would be a way to channel the energy more positively. Okay, so anyway, Libra. So for Libra and Libra rising. So for Libra and Libra rising, this Venus energy is happening in your 5th house. The 5th house is the house of romance. It's the house of pleasure, play, fun. It's the house where you go to experience joy and do things that you love to do. And so Venus entering the 5th house is always a good thing. Venus loves being in the 5th house. And so this is a great time over these next few weeks for you to just tap into things that bring you back into balance by helping you to experience joy. This is also a good time for romance, but it does start off with a little bit of a disruption. And that disruption might come through joint finances through marriage. So that might sort of put a damper on your romance and your sex life for a little bit. It could be that there's some sort of disruptive energy involving joint finances around children that could cause you to have to make a really important change to the way that you deal with these types of things. And it could just be that there's a source of frustration in the 8th house where you really need to change something about the way that you deal with resources in partnership with other people. Maybe you've been relying on your partner's resources, and it's because of this you're not having the ability to engage in the things, the hobbies, the interests, the passions that you really love. And so maybe it's time to break free from that. Maybe you have a partner that's been relying on your resources, and maybe that's something that you need to break free from a little bit. And so these types of things could come up for you. If there is a disruptive energy in your 8th house in terms of like difficult or chaotic circumstances involving investments, inheritance, debt, taxes, things like that, this might bring that up, but it'll probably bring it up in a way that helps you to, again, create that equilibrium. So it's showing you something that needs to be changed, or something will come about that'll force you to change something in the way that you deal with those joint finances. This could also be dealing with some sort of disruptive energy around intimacy and partnership or intimacy and romance. And so, if that is the case, it's bringing something up that's going to show you what you need to change in order to create better romantic situations for yourself moving forward. So that's part of this energy too. All right, and then for Scorpio rising. So for Scorpio rising, this Venus energy in your fourth house of the home and family is going to help you bring back balance to your home and family. So this is a really great time to focus on your roots, focus on connecting with family, focus on creating balance and harmony and equilibrium within your home, redecorating your home. That makes sense. I'm already feeling that. with Venus hasn't even fully moved into Aquarius yet, but I have this urge, and I feel like I'm going to do some redecorating in the next couple of weeks. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, Scorpio risings, redecorate your home. Next weekend would be actually a time where there could be some sort of disruption to the equilibrium or balance, especially in family relationships or relationships within your home environment. If that is the case, it's coming up to show you this source of frustration so you can make some changes to the dynamic in those relationships, or make some changes to the way that you live your life, or very physically make changes to your home and your property in order to make things much better, much more balanced and much more beautiful moving forward. There could be a disruption in your partnership. There could be, especially if you're married or have a long-term relationship, there could be some sort of disruption to the balance or the status quo in that relationship. But again, that disruption is going to help to create better balance in your home life and in your normal day-to-day life within your family unit. So it might not feel comfortable over the weekend, but whatever it is that comes up is happening for a reason. And I do think it's going to help you to come back into a state of greater balance in your home life. All right, and then for Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. So this energy here is happening with Venus in your third house, which is the house of communication. And this is an interesting one. So, you know, there could be a disruptive communication that comes in involving finances, money, partnership in some way, but it's helping you to come back into balance as it relates to your mindset about something. This could also be a disruption to your daily habits and work routines that allows you to create better balance and harmony when it comes to your immediate environment and your day-to-day communications and your relationship with your community and your neighborhood. And so that could be part of this energy too. There could be maybe some sort of disruptive communication involving your work, involving especially your relationship with your coworkers that causes you to have to rebel or change something involving your workplace, and that could be part of this energy too. But really, I think this is more about changing your mindset around something in the third house, or changing the way that you communicate with others about something, especially work-related things or work-related topics in your third house, or health-related topics too could be part of it. And so, you know, this is a time of changing something where you might have a new idea that comes in that challenges your current mindset around something, and you're going to have to adapt. And, you know, by doing that, you're going to have better balance when it comes to the way that you think about things on a daily basis. There could be some sort of disruptive new connection that comes in through your community, your siblings, extended family members. And again, that's going to help to change the way that you deal with communication or the way that you think about your reality on a day-to-day basis. So really, this is more about changing your mindset than anything else, but there could be some disruptive energy involving your work habits and daily routines at work, or a communication with your coworkers that could come up as well. All right, and for Capricorn and Capricorn rising. So for you guys, you're having this Venus energy in the sign of Aquarius in your second house of finances. And so this could, first off, this could disrupt your financial situation in some way, either maybe through some sort of major purchase, something that you felt like you really wanted that brings you excitement and joy. But, you know, it could be a little disruptive in some way. If that is the case, purchasing this item or sort of getting it out of the way can help you in some way to change your mindset around resources and to come back into better balance when it comes to the way that you save your resources, the way that you spend your money, the way that you think about your money, your belief systems around finances. Those things are all subject to change, and the change that comes, it's going to help you to have a more balanced perspective on your financial situation, and probably a more balanced and harmonious financial situation. This could also be some sort of unexpected like bill or something, or unexpected expense, especially related to children, that could come up for you over the course of this next week, especially into the weekend. in, and that could be disruptive to the balance of your finances. But again, the end result of that is going to cause you to rethink or change the way that you deal with money. And so I do think that it'll be positive in that it'll bring you into a better state of equilibrium moving forward. So that way, when these disruptive circumstances do come up, you're better able to deal with them. All right. And then Aquarius and Aquarius rising. So lucky Aquarius, Venus is moving into your sign. And, you know, this is a positive thing. I mean, you're coming into, so there's two different energies happening here because we're coming into the winter solstice, right? So we're coming into the sun in Capricorn, which is the sign right before yours. So you're kind of going into this like internalized introspective phase in preparation for the solar reset for your year ahead, for your solar return, which is coming up next month. And by the way, if you are an Aquarius sun sign, you can pre-order your 2-hour solar return and sun sign forecast to get a 25% discount. The link is down in the description below, and it'll be available for you on January 1st, so you can figure out what's coming up for the year ahead for you, so you can spend this time right now where you should really be contemplating what's gone on in the past year and thinking about what intentions you want to see for the future. When you do have that solar reset, you can have a better perspective on what's coming up, so you know what to focus on and maybe what to let go of. But you're having kind of a discordant energy because even though there's energy shifting into your 12th house, which is causing you to pull inward, even if you're an Aquarius rising sign, because you're preparing for that reset of the sun illuminating your ascendant. So there's this pulling inward and this wanting to take time for yourself. And also Venus is moving into your first house, which indicates that you're probably going to have maybe more social interaction. You're going to feel much more attractive, more popular. People will be more drawn to you. So it's kind of like you're wanting to pull away, but people are like, oh, hey, Aquarius, come hang out with me. We love you. And so you might feel a little pushed and pulled in different directions in that way, but this could also just be an indulgent energy too, where you just want to kick back and enjoy, you know, the pleasures of dealing with the sensory experience and the sensory reality. And so that could be part of this energy too, where you just want to sort of enjoy the physical realm and enjoy your experience and indulge a little bit more. You know, this weekend, I wouldn't recommend changing something really dramatically involving your appearance, especially if it's something that's really impulsive. But after this weekend, when there's no longer the Uranus involvement, this is one of the best times to like get a makeover, cut your hair, you know, that type of thing when Venus is transiting your sign, especially if it's your ascendant. So that's just something to consider in the coming weeks, because I don't know how much Venus and Aquarius talk we'll have with the triggering aspects. But the main thing is that this week you're going to be wanting to change something. There's a disruptive energy that's causing you to come back into balance, harmony, homeostasis, especially involving your important relationships and especially involving family relationships and family partnerships. And so there could be a disruptive energy in your home or in your family dynamic or through your family members that takes you out of that state of harmony and balance and good vibes that Venus is bringing. But by doing this and by addressing this and by making the changes that you need to make, you're going to free up energy. And that energy that is freed up is going to allow you to make space to come back into balance and to indulge a bit more and to enjoy your experience. And so it'll help your body to come back into harmony and equilibrium. It'll help your relationships come back into harmony and equilibrium. And it'll just help you to feel much more balanced by dealing with these circumstances and making the changes that need to be made. All right, and then finally, Pisces and Pisces rising. It's 11:11 while I'm recording this. Lucky Pisces. So Venus is going to be in your, moving into your 12th house, which is the house of spirituality. It's the house of seclusion. It's the house of sort of seeking solitude. And so because it's Venus, though, it's about connection, right? So this could be you connecting to your spirituality, but this could also be you connecting within partnership with somebody else to some sort of spiritual practice or some sort of creative pursuit or activity. This could be you just wanting to hide away and have some sort of escape with your romantic partner. And if that's the case, you know, you could definitely have some sort of surprising, shocking opportunity that comes up that allows you to do that. But internally, this will help you to feel really good. Your subjective sense of reality will become more balanced and more harmonious. Your dreams after this weekend will probably be really nice and really pleasant because that's part of that 12th house energy too. But there could be some sort of disruptive communication that comes in that internally disrupts your sense of balance and equilibrium, or that makes you have to sort of deal with something that you don't want to deal with because you want to turn inward and you just want to feel good and spend time on your own, or spend time hidden away with your partner if that's applicable to you. But, you know, by dealing with whatever it is that comes up, because this is going to be a communication that really challenges your current mindset around something, or a situation that disrupts your day-to-day communications, or your relationships with people that are involved in the third house, so like neighbors, your community, your siblings or extended family members. And so it's something that will come up that will be kind of shocking or unexpected, that'll throw you off balance a little bit. But by dealing with this and making the changes that you need to make, even if it's just frustration that comes up, it doesn't have to be that something comes from the outside necessarily, but for frustration with those areas that we just talked about. But by making these changes and dealing with it, you're going to come back into an internal state of balance, and that'll free up energy for the rest of the time that Venus is transiting through the sign of Aquarius. So that way you can take time to yourself. You can indulge in some quiet, some solitude, some rest over this holiday season. And so it's important that you do make the changes if they do come up, and not just try to pull away and ignore it. So that is my forecast for all 12 signs. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Feel free to comment below with questions. I like reading your comments, and follow me on Instagram too. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of 2020 stuff on my Instagram account, and then here on YouTube. I'm hoping to have a 2020 forecast for you guys next week. I already recorded a video with Robert Phoenix that I'm going to hopefully have it edited and sent and posted at the start of next week. And my newsletter for 2020, I did some really in-depth sort of monthly astro highlights for the coming year, so you know exactly how to navigate the year ahead every month. So you'll have that as a resource for you for the entire next year. So look out for all of that, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye.